If this looks familiar, if you do anything at all while driving other than driving, then you must stop and watch this show, because distracted driving is becoming the most hazardous thing you'll face on a daily basis. You could be the victim, or you could be the killer. Toni Bolus was a victim. She was 9 months pregnant when she was killed by a distracted driver, leaving behind a husband, a child, and a grieving family. Her sisters are here with us today to warn us and you of the dangers of distracted drivers. Please stay with us for this very compelling story. Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Lynn Doyle. We've all seen it, maybe we've done it at some time. We have driven while being distracted. It happens all the time. Maybe it's talking on the cell phone without a hands-free device. Maybe it's lighting or smoking a cigarette, dealing with rowdy kids in the back seat. Maybe you're one of those people who eat or groom yourself while driving. These days, most likely, it's texting on your mobile device or checking your status on a social media site. Whatever it is, it's taking your attention away from driving, and that's proving to be more and more dangerous to all of us. Just a few weeks ago, it cost one woman her life. You're looking at pictures of Toni Bolus, a 28-year-old wife and mother who was about to give birth to a son, who was senselessly killed in a horrific head-on collision by a 21-year-old who was allegedly distracted while driving. Her sisters, Annette and Angela Donato, are joining us today with her tragic story. We're also joined by Toni's best friend, Nicole Lanuti. I want to thank you all for being with us, and please accept my deepest sympathies on the loss of your sister and your nephew and your very best friend. It must be heartbreaking for you.
Thank you for having us.
I'm glad to see that you're willing to talk about this. You feel that it's important to get the message out. Let's explain to people, Annette, the circumstances which cost Toni her life.
Toni was finishing a long day at work. She was on her way home. She was about a half a mile away from home, maybe even less than that. Talking to my mom hands-free. Toni always used her speakerphone. It was a thing, she just always did it. Driving down straight road, and all of a sudden my mom was talking to her, and she said, "Mom, I'm in a bad accident." She was real calm. And, "What do you mean? Where are you? Where are you?" She said, "I'm on putting down the road and I'm fine, but get here fast." So I could hear my mom. I was in the kitchen and we jumped in the car, headed straight for her, saw another car, turned around and saw her car off to the road, off the side of the road.
I can't imagine for your mother being on the phone talking to her daughter and hearing her say, "I've been in a bad accident." Myself as a mom, that gives me goosebumps. When you got there with your mom, did you realize just how bad the accident was?
Yes. We didn't know who to call. We didn't know if we should call Eric, Toni's husband. We didn't know. My dad was on his way home from work, which is like an hour and a half away. He had just left work, and to tell him while he's on the road it's bad, it would have been even worse to tell him as he's driving. So we didn't want to tell anyone how bad it really was. We just said, "It's okay, she's all right, you know, she's still here, it's fine, it's fine." So we had to lie to a lot of people to just get them to the hospital and calm and safely, because that was the most important thing for us, for everyone to just get there and be safe, and so everyone could be together.
Can you describe what the accident scene looked like? Was her car destroyed? Were there other cars involved? What did you learn at the scene about the actual accident?
You could see that they were hit head on. But what was strange was the car that hit her was turned facing the same direction that she was going. So I guess on impact, they spun around. There's glass everywhere, and Toni was still in the car. You could see that her door was jammed in, and it was difficult to get it open.
When you got there, was she still conscious, or at this point had she lost consciousness?
We believe she was already unconscious. I actually never went up to the car. I was the frantic one calling everybody saying, you need to meet us at the hospital. I'm not quite sure where we're going.
And the other driver at one point, who was not seriously injured, made a comment, I understand, about the cause of the accident?
He had spoken with me. There's no proof on what was going on while they were driving. So
that's why I use the term allegedly by a distracted driver.
Yeah. So what we've come to the conclusion after doing a lot of research on distracted driving, whether it's looking down, changing the radio station, if you're on your cell phone, if you're combing your hair in the mirror, anything is distracting. If your two hands aren't on the wheel and your eyes aren't focused on the road, there's something that's distracting you.
In this case, it was alleged that perhaps he was looking at his cell phone that had a GPS system on it. We've all done it. Mm-hmm. Our cars now come equipped with GPS systems. We text, we talk, we look at the back seat where the kids are. Mm-hmm. So you're convinced that there was something that distracted him, and in that split second changed not only his life, but your life as well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You just don't cross a double yellow line on a clear, straight road in daylight. Something had his eyes away from something.
Yeah. Something obviously distracted him. Of course, the accident remains under investigation, and if you've ever been in a situation like this, you know just how heartbreaking it is to lose someone in an accident, but when it's a senseless accident that perhaps could have been avoided, it's even more horrific. Nicole, you've been best friends with Tony for many, many years, since you were kids. Can you give us a sense of what she was like and what you'll miss most?
Tony was probably the person that loved life the most. She took pictures every single day. She was a great mom, she was a great wife. She really lived every second of her life to the fullest. And she tried to have everybody else see the way that she lived. She really took advantage of every day and tried to make it the best.
That's what makes this such a tragedy. And on top of that, not only did she lose her life, but the child, the son that she was about to deliver, also perished in the accident as well.
Yes.
And that, of course, is heartbreaking. What will you miss? What has this accident taken from you?
Just somebody to talk to every day. Every day I would get a message in the morning on her way to work, all throughout the day, just talking randomly, hanging out on Fridays with her and the baby. Fridays was Mommy and Me Fridays. I didn't work on Fridays. I would go over there and just hang out. I got to spend a lot of time with them. I was looking forward to her being on maternity leave, because then it gave me something to do every day.
But you thought it was important. You actually brought this to our attention, this accident, and you thought it was important to speak out and make people aware. Why? What do you hope to accomplish by telling your story?
Hope that no other family has to go through this, ever. And not even just on our side of it as the victim's family.
On both sides.
On both sides. The other driver is now going to have to live with the fact that, due to their actions, a life that didn't have a chance has now been taken from us. And it's a big deal. It's happening everywhere. And it's, like you said, senseless. It's the word I keep hearing over and over, that it's just senseless, and nobody needs to go through this.
I hope that by doing this show, it makes people take pause and they say, you know what, I'll wait till I get to my destination to check the cell phone or to send a message or to read a text or whatever it is. And sometimes when they hear what's happened, it does, put an image in your mind and make you think about it a little bit more.
Absolutely.
How is the rest of your family, Tony's husband, her child, Mia, and your parents? How are your parents doing?